We'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and we're back here, back at Total Nutrition with my boy Val.
Good morning, guys.
And this week's, Motivate with EY. We're just going to talk about some things here this week. Val had a really good topic. I reached out to him the other day and trying to decide what it is that we're going to talk about, because obviously we have crazy ideas all the time that we're always
just on this morning, man. Just going off on that one. That would be a great thing to talk about. Just that whole idea. I mean, we could put that on paper and outline that. That'd be a great one. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, the most of the stuff that I even discuss anyway, or you and I discuss, I mean, they all come from conversations. They come from like with my friends, with you, with other people I come across, whether they're just asking, hey, I saw you lost some weight, looks great, what can I do? And so I'll get into conversations about what their lifestyle habits are and things. But what you and I were discussing the other day that you came up with was food shopping for success.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think in order to eat right, you got to have the right foods first place.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Without even a doubt, there should be some sort of let's just call it a plan. We have everything. I mean, we have daily plans that we have to accomplish, and I mean, even if you're not thinking about it, you got to get up, you got to brush your teeth, you got to cook, you got to do these things that are plans. Mm-hmm. Something like a food plan is as simple as just making a list, and then following that list. Mm-hmm. Lists are the best things that I have at my house. They're simple, fish, turkey, rice, and the condiments or whatever that I put on that, but. That whole idea of just setting yourself up for that kind of success is something that I think a lot of people fail to do.
Sure.
We just kind of think that, hey, if I just go to the grocery store, I'm going to find what I need to find, and that's it. Make a plan. Any sort of good idea or some sort of success it has to have a plan, and you start executing those ideas to get to that final result.
Yeah, I wonder. I think most people, and I say this based on just what I hear, right? I mean, I feel like most people, to your point, don't have a plan. They don't have an idea even when they're going to the store of what do I need to buy so I have the right foods in my house to eat, whether it's for lunch or for dinner, for snacks. I know I have, all due respect to all the people that I know and all my friends and family that I love very much. I think I hear, they tell me stories and they just go, I just go buy this and I buy that. It's quick and easy. And I'm thinking, but that's not the right foods. Right. I mean, and quite honestly, I want to say, sometimes I do say that it's not food. I mean, you're buying stuff and you're consuming it. But, what you and I think consider true food, I guess, is more fuel, right? Fuel for the body,
right.
And it's what our body needs to perform throughout the day, perform for workouts or whatever it is. Yeah. But even more than that, I realized my wife and I were talking, and I was cleaning up after we made this nice healthy meal for dinner, and I'm putting all the leftovers away, all the Ziplocs, and marking them for, we did this on Tuesday, so we know how long it's good for, and all these leftovers, and I'm putting it away, and I'm cleaning the dishes, and I'm thinking, and it hit me, I'm like, oh, this is just my life. This is what I do now. But most people, if you're not in this habit, like this seems like a lot. If I explain it to somebody, it seems like a lot of work.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
But even before that, planning for the meal, having those right foods to even cook, then the recipe's a whole different thing.
I think you're getting to this point where sometimes we think these sort of efficient means, whatever's fast, whatever's easy, we plug those in. That's actually just holding us back. We actually put ourselves in. I mean, even costs. When you look at the cost, I mean, you can save a lot more money buying natural foods, cooking them yourself, and allowing your body to get better nutrients. So overall, just good.
Yeah. Well, I think too, because like for me, like my family, we don't always like eating the same foods all the time, like every day, right?
It's a little boring.
It can get a little mundane.
Yeah.
But I mean, tacos are usually the exception. We eat a lot. I'm not gonna lie. We eat a lot of tacos or tortilla-less tacos at my house. We'll do like taco bowls, kind of a thing. But the reason why I bring it up is I think some people are like, well, I don't want to, quote unquote, meal prep. I don't want to have the same foods for the next 4 or 5 days. So, but I think if you can change, at least at first, because right now, you and I are in a position, probably you even more than me, but we're in a position where we've done a lot of the hard work up front. We've gotten down to the body size, the weight, whatever you want to call it, the fitness level that we want to be at. Obviously, we still want to make improvements, but we've gotten to this place now where we can make certain tweaks and things, and it's not such a big deal if we had I don't even want to call it like a cheat meal, but let's say not a perfect meal, right? If we had add a little bit more cheese to this dish or something like that, it's not a big deal for us. But if you're getting started, I think the mindset at first is, look, I need to eat, and I need to eat good foods. So I need to stop thinking of it as this only pleasure thing that I do, right? To give myself mouth pleasure. I need to give my body what it needs. So for the next months, whatever you need to do for a period of time, and just say, look, I need to look at food differently. I need to look at it as just fuel only, and I need to get a crock pot, or I need to meal prep, whatever. Because look,
whatever that can help with consistency.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's it. Something that can help with consistency. The foods, you can. This is how I started, and what I tried, and it worked for me. Is it's turkey, it's chicken, but there's variable ways to prepare it, whatever, and you can do that. Now for me, it's just the same one. That, I'll do chicken, turkey, flip flop it. But as far as having flavorful things that people will enjoy, things that you might enjoy. I mean, use your imagination, but to just try to be consistent with the kind of foods that you're having. I mean, and number one, it gives you a great baseline to find out what's working for you and what's not working for you.
Right.
Another way to get to that successful point is eliminating what's holding you back. So, I mean, beyond just, shopping for success, know what you have to be picking off the shelves. Me personally, I'm a certain blood type that can't do chicken much anymore. I've taken that out of my diet. That's now part of my success, where I know that I can't do
eliminating.
That. It triggers inflammation in my joints, inflammation all over, really. It's a lectin inflammation, and it's not fun. It's chicken, but I love chicken.
Right.
Can't buy it as like I used to.
So because that's one thing is people need to find out. For me, I stay away from pastas and breads. It's just I feel like it's a lead ball in my stomach, and it's just I don't feel good when I eat them. So I substitute.
And I tread these waters really lightly, because we did talk about this about being overcomplicated. There's a lot of people, I think, they go and they're looking, they want to get on a healthy thing, they want to be consistent. They go to the supermarket and they lean cuisine. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of sodium.
I think you're trying. I really do. Absolutely. So any food, I mean, as simple as just knowing that foods that are processed and put on shelves that are prepared, they're being preserved, and that preservative is sodium. It's the salt. And too much of that's going to hold water. That water is going to do it's processing in fat and stuff like that. But you don't want to do that.
No.
But they are the lesser of the evils. I'm just saying there are so many better ways to prepare what Lean Cuisine did in the same store. So
well, so what I do, and you can tell me what you do as well. So in our household, we have certain staples. We have potatoes, because we'll do loaded baked potatoes with chicken, broccoli, and all that kind of stuff.
I've seen yours. That look good.
So
I'm waiting for the invite.
I'm telling you, man, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do the potatoes or the pizza one if you like. The pizza ones look good. Yeah. I get a lot of compliments too at the gym. At jiu-jitsu, they're like, man, I gotta have you do my meal prep. But so potatoes are a big one. Chicken, always having some sort of chicken.
Staples.
Chicken breast or chicken tenders. I like the chicken tenders. They cook a little bit faster than chicken breast, and they tend to stay more tender when you're cooking them, because they're not as thick. Unless you want to, bake on really low, like 300 for
and
4 hours.
If it's in the budget, when I was doing chicken's one of those things that can be overcooked, blah blah blah. People hate it, it's dry. Right? I got this thing. An air fryer. I mean,
I was gonna ask you about that.
We've heard of them, and I've heard of them, and they actually work pretty well. There's different ways that you can prepare the chicken in there that aren't so dry, and it tastes pretty good. I mean, wow, that was nice.
Okay. Yeah. I've been thinking about getting one of those because I've heard a lot of good things.
It's like $50, $80.
Yeah.
Like that,
yeah, and it cooks pretty quick, and it keeps everything nice and tight. You said the juices in there real well. So.
Yeah, and you know, for the most part, it cooks it in a manner that it preserves most of its nutrients. So it keeps a lot of what you need in the food instead of cooking it out.
Yes. Yeah, that's another big problem. So, so we'll have chicken. We have some sort of salad greens, whether it's spinach and or arugula. Is typically what we'll do. I always
learned about arugula.
You just what?
I learned about the name arugula.
Oh, okay.
It's a funny word.
Yeah, but it's good. If you like a little bit more of like almost like a peppery kind of flavor with the greens, that's what it gives it. And so anytime we do arugula, so spinach, we'll do like the spinach berry salad that we do with chicken. Because it's a little bit sweeter. Where the arugula, we'll do just like arugula, goat cheese, maybe some chicken. I usually use it as like a side salad, or I'll just kind of shred it up and put it on top of tacos or something. So that's what we use.
How long does it take you to prepare something like that?
The salad or just the meals?
Or the meal. Like
most of our meals.
So something like, okay, like for instance, this is something that you like, and you're going to prepare this because you don't want Lean Cuisine to do it.
Right. Most of our meals are 20 to 30 minutes. And that's with chopping up. If we have to chop stuff up, that's with all the prep and the cooking time. Some of the stuff we microwave, like if we want to save time with like the broccoli, right? So we'll buy the frozen broccoli, and we'll do the steamables, version of the broccoli sometimes, versus doing it on the stovetop. We'll do. So broccoli is another one we usually have as one of our staples, and then the jasmine white rice we have for certain like carb days on training days.
That's the one glycemic carb that works best for me too.
Me too.
It's just a really clean, fast carb. It's good.
The other thing I want to do, and I think you said that you do it a lot, is I want to do more sweet potatoes. You do a lot of sweet potato?
During prep, I will.
Oh, do you?
During prep, I will. It's just I don't know, for myself, it keeps me more full, but it does give me that glycemic energy as well. So it's just it's a strategy that I use. It works for me, and my body responds well to it. So
because like with the regular potatoes, or even like with the sweet potatoes, one of the things that we'll do just to keep things interesting is I'll make chips, right? Slice them into chip size, and then you just bake them with a little bit of sea salt and pepper. Maybe a little bit of olive oil, brush them with some olive oil or something.
That's it.
And if you want chips, or if you want something like a French fry, and I heard those air fryers are really good to make air fries.
Right there, we do the sweet potato fries. That's what. That's good.
Because what I try to tell people is, because they always say, I see your stuff on Instagram and your food looks really good and it looks like it tastes really good. I'm like, look, it tastes amazing. Like I never feel like I'm sacrificing good tasting food by eating healthy. I never feel that way.
That's a major pitfall for a lot of people. They won't do it because it just doesn't have flavor.
Right, it tastes like cardboard.
It's diet food. It's just food. It's food.
And you can prepare it in ways that have just so many flavors. And look, I'm not a chef. I have no formal training. I have very limited even upbringing, with my parents showing me. They show me some stuff, but for the most part, I mean, almost everything that I find or that I do, I found online. I'll just Google healthy whatever recipes.
I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna rewind a little bit because I want to just make a point about what we talked about just a little while ago. And from what I was getting, and I forgot to mention this, it was about training yourself to do what it is. It's a little bit about consistency, but just telling your mind that this is what I have to do, this is what needs to be done, and eventually it becomes a habit, and then it just becomes a part of that day. Right now, for someone who doesn't do that, I mean, I guess the connection would be is, we put time in the gym, we train our bodies, we train our, whatever it is that we're training in the gym physically, we have to also train our minds. Our minds are what actually focus that. That focus that energy where it needs to go. So when we can train our mind to say, hey, I'm going to keep doing this, and just wake up and keep doing that, it allows your body to kind of learn that. It memorizes it, and now it's part of you. You're like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And then to catch up a little bit now, the whole idea about conditioning ourselves about the foods that we look at that are good for you to something better, instead of, we drive by fast food restaurants all the time, and we have all this convenience given to us, and we think that's good, when in fact we could just stop thinking that way for a little bit, stand in front of, you know, the meat aisle or the butcher window and the vegetable aisle and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, like even when I go to the grocery, here's the other thing too. It's a good point you brought up, changing your mindset, because at first I would say it's almost entirely about mindset.
Yeah.
Because your mind will start telling you, this is too much work, this is too hard.
Yeah, we talk ourselves right out of it.
We talk ourselves, and in fact, we go looking for excuses why it's okay to not eat healthy. Because you start going, well, look, I pull my schedule, I got this, I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to go shopping because I'm at the store, I'm sure you are too. I'm at the grocery store like every other day. You have to buy fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh meats, because you can't let everything sit, you know, for long periods of time.
If you don't take the time now, that time's going to be taken away when you're going to when you're going to want it the most.
Well, yeah.
If you don't take it now, that time's going to be taken when you want it the most. So at the end, you know, and I'm not trying to be grim.
No, this is true.
But
I see
you don't take the time now, you're taking the ability of your body to exist. You're basically just chopping years off. So what you don't take now, you know, the time to do now, it's going to expand both ways, and it's just something you really, really got to focus on. And now that I'm getting older, my mindset is more that now. Like, okay, you know, it's not whatever I can eat, whenever I can eat. Let's go. It's more like, okay, how can I make this easier on my body so that it's less stressful, and my body responds better. I feel better. I look better. You know, things. We can prolong these things just by simply, you know, putting the right things and shopping the right way. It's up to us.
Yeah, and I think if you can go to the store with a list, with a plan, and just say, this is what I'm doing. Like, you have to remove from your head, well, this is what I've always done, or I don't want to, it's too hard, or whatever. Like, this is what I'm doing, and just day by day, just like anything else that seems astronomical, you know,
and
mountain
what
to
takes
overcome.
you 20, 30 minutes right now to cook, right? You know, say for instance, it's somebody that's just starting. Let's just say you had 10, 15 minutes to that, okay? But then you start cooking it more, and then you start to develop a process. I mean, it takes me 15, 20 minutes to cook 4 meals. Obviously, they're not like what you cook. You know, it's just, you know, whatever. But I've got 4 meals now, and that's how I've developed a plan, and it's very easy for me in the kitchen just to manipulate everything and then put them in the containers and let's go.
Well, and
that's me. You know, I'm the extremist.
Right, but still, but like you said, it becomes just part of your life. Like, this is just what you do now. So now you take less time on the computer, or less time watching TV, or less time, whatever it is that we do at home. Because I've noticed I've had to do that too. At first, you're like, oh, I want to watch the show, or I want to do this right now. But I also know, well, I also have to get dinner ready. And I can't let this suffer just because I want to do this right now. So then either you just sacrifice, or now we live in the day of, you know, we can pause TV, you can record TV, you can watch it online. There's so many ways to do it. It's very rare that's even a thing. Now it just becomes a willpower thing. Now it's just, this is what I need to do right now for me and my family, is prepare this meal, because it's going to take, like you said at the beginning, it's probably going to take closer to an hour when you're first doing it, because you're having to look up and recipe.
Change, you know, and change the attitude, I guess. You know, I mean, it sounds a lot easier than it is, but it's kind of like, you know, oh my God, I don't have the time. Oh my God, I got to get rid of recipe. Oh my God. But kind of just mindset wise, just tell yourself, just tell yourself, I'm gonna have fun to do this. This is gonna be a good time. And it's gonna help me. Jeez. What's not bad about that? I mean, it's
I know. Well, like you said, it sounds easy, but I think, so the concept is easy. It's the executing every day is the hard part at first, as you're getting started, because it's every day, it's a struggle. You know, anything that you're trying to do, if you're going to try to learn piano, and you're like, I want to be the most badass piano player of all time, right? I want to put, you know, what's his name, to shame, the candelabra guy.
Anyway. You're asking the wrong dude.
Liberace. I'm gonna put Liberace to shame. But if that's your goal and you've never played a musical instrument, look, for a
That
long
ages you,
time,
Liberace.
for a long time though, it's gonna suck because you're not gonna be good, and
No.
the amount of hours and time you're gonna have to put in. So anything new, at first, it's a lot of work. It's all work. It feels like work.
Yeah.
Until you start kind of climbing over that little bit of hump and start going, okay, I got this now. I'm kind of getting the system down here a little bit.
And think about what you're saying. It's just simply you being comfortable with what you're doing. Yeah, okay, it sounds better. You're more comfortable with the actions that are happening, and it sounds like what you think you should be sounding like. But when you just tell your mind that is what it's happening, that's what's happening, and you repeat that over and over again, it's called practice.
Yeah.
It will get better, and it does start to become memory, and then you can. I just heard somebody talking about this today. Like, you can actually learn how to play the piano. It's funny you talk about that. By memorizing certain notes and playing it in your head, just as well as sitting at a piano and playing the keys. There was a study done, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm no plug there, but I just learned it, heard it this morning, where they took a study, and there was a couple studies in between. But the beginning study was people playing piano and practicing these chords or these notes, and they learned new notes, and it was great. The certain stimulus were triggered brain activity, and it was memorized. That's how memorization works.
Sure.
And then the people, the last study was people were given, they knew how to play piano, were given the notes, and they were asked to memorize it in their head, play the notes in their head. The same triggers from the people playing it were activated in the brain. So, yeah, and it was amazing. I mean, they memorized.
Right.
So and then when they got back to a piano,
They could play.
boom.
Yeah.
So it's just triggering your mind to put those things into play every day, and be mindful that you practice that, you learn it, you memorize it.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I've been telling people, and I said this last week on the podcast last week, and I say it, and I've been known to say in the past, look, there's I think there's people that are naturally more gifted mentally, that have a mental strength naturally, and there's people who struggle a lot when it comes to having to overcome obstacles, right? But I will say, I know for a fact, because there's nothing special about me, in the sense of I'm not born with a natural gift of this crazy mindset to overcome things. I just know how to work hard. I come from a hardworking family. My mom was a migrant worker, like trying to clean my room, and I complained about cleaning my room. I had to give her a whole story about what she had to do growing up. So, and it was nothing compared. So
we grew up the same way.
Yeah. So, my dad was military, very hardworking people. So I just know how to work hard, and I say this because I hear people saying, well, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can overcome. I feel like I have too big of a mountain to climb. And I'm like, look, I'm telling you, you can do it. But you have to believe that you can do it. I can tell you all day long. This person can tell you. Your parents can tell you. Everybody in the world can tell you can do it. But if you don't believe it, then you're right. You can't do it. So that's the part of the mindset too, is to believe that yes, you can overcome this. You can overcome the challenge of your schedule, the challenge of just life getting in the way, the challenge of sometimes even your own family saying, why do we have to eat this way, Mom, Dad? Why do we have to eat this food? Why can't we just have the Domino's pizza like we always used to do? Those are all going to be challenges.
Yeah.
But you can do it. If you just tell yourself every day, this is what I'm doing. This is it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It doesn't matter. If an alien comes and abducts me and takes me away, I need to tell them, I got to get back and make my healthy meal for my family, because that's it. There's no excuses.
Where's my prep?
There's no excuses that can be good enough. But you can. I promise you, you can do it.
Yeah.
You just have to believe that you can do it.
Number one.
So back to what kind of? So on top of, we went over some foods that I have in my house that are good staples. You talked about the things that you have and that are kind of your staples. Let's also discuss some of the things that people absolutely need to stay away from. Right?
Yeah.
For me, and what I hear from a lot of other nutritionists and people, personal trainers, number one they tell people to get rid of in their life is soda.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had, so I think I had I had soda with my rum a couple weekends ago, and it was weird because I didn't like it. Because I switched over to if I go drinking, I'll switch over to club soda because the Coke is too sweet for me.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since I've actually had a whole can or something of soda. Usually if I have to have it, it's a couple sips to wash something down, and then I'm out.
That's it.
I can't do it. But I know a lot of people. There's a guy I used to work with. He would get one of those double big gulps. I mean, it was a trough of soda. He would get Dr. Pepper every time, and he would say he drank 2 of those a day. And he was a big guy. He was probably 6'2", 6'3". Dude. He was a big guy, and he didn't look grossly overweight, but he was overweight. You could see he was overweight. Yeah. But I can't imagine what his insides were dealing with and having that much every day.
No, that's horrendous. You know, I don't know the chemical makeup of Dr. Pepper, but it can't be that great.
But just the sugar alone.
Yeah, I mean,
like 200 grams of sugar per thing, twice a day. I mean,
he's killing himself.
Oh,
yeah,
and
loading the gun.
I know a lot of people that drink a lot of soda, and even people who don't think they drink a lot of soda. Right. You drink a lot of soda.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I only drink a case a week. That's a lot.
Well, or even something like, well, I only have it every once in a while. But, like, that's not even a real term. Like, that's not even a real unit of measurement every once in a while. Like, what does that mean? Every once in a while, like, a couple times a day, you'll have a soda. Right. And I know people, they can chug a whole soda at once during lunch. And I'm like, or they'll get if you get a large soda, a 24-ounce soda from somewhere, that's bigger than a can of soda. A can of soda is what, 12 ounces?
You eliminate that. Yeah, for most people, number one, significant just health, benefits. You know, the lack of sugar, the amount. However, if you are somebody that does have one of those issues where you're doing a lot of caffeine or a lot of soda, my advice would be is just to kind of wean down off of it, because I know that a lot of people, I've talked to people that do the 6 or 8 cans a day, and you're out there.
Yeah.
Wean down off of it.
Yeah.
Because just cold turkey, I've heard is horrendous. Your body does go through like certain withdrawal things.
Yeah.
It's
had massive migraines.
Migraines.
Yeah. Massive migraines.
Yeah. So just be careful with that.
I should tell you something too. Your body's shutting down on you for not having soda.
Yeah.
Crack does the same thing.
Heroin.
Yeah, man. Jeez. So, but you're right. Have a plan to wean down, and then but tell yourself you're good by a certain date, maybe. And consult with come in here and talk with these guys, and consult with somebody professionally if it's going to help you out, and what's the best plan to get that done. So soda's a big one. Another one too, and my wife didn't want to believe me for the longest time until she heard it from Dr. Oz or somebody on TV. Right, my word wasn't good enough. Was juices, like
maybe
orange
you need
juice.
the word doctor before you know.
I know, I'm working on it. Not really, but juices.
Yeah.
Orange juice. So people think, oh, well, oranges are healthy. Orange juice has got to be healthy. Well, no. You're getting all the sugar without the fiber, without the everything else that the orange is made up of. Like, obviously, I'm not a doctor, right? That's why I say everything else.
But how we're conditioned to think, juice, it's good. No.
It's pure sugar.
Yeah.
You're getting pure sugar.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
My rule is the better it tastes, the worse it is for you.
It could be, yeah. but if you want orange juice, if you want what's the other, like apple juice, like just have the fruit.
Yeah.
If you want, if you want the taste.
Apple juice is one of the bigger one, like one of those.
Grape juice too.
Yeah, they're like, it's not that good for you, man.
No. So we're making our summer berry salad the other day. I was dicing up all the strawberries and getting all the blueberries ready. And so before we put them on top of the salad while the chicken was cooking, I was just snacking on those strawberries. And as I'm doing that, I'm eating and going, I can taste the sweetness, obviously, from the strawberry, but I'm like, this is so delicious. Like, I can eat this, and I have more pleasure from this than any candy bar that I've ever eaten, than any other, maybe not pastry, I love pastry, but my point is, I like I said before, I don't feel like I'm giving anything up. I feel like I'm gaining. Like, I love the taste of fresh fruit. Our fruit bowl is always full. Yeah. And when it's not full, we look at it, we're like, what do we do? Let's go get some fruit.
Yeah. No. Again, we I guess we touch on the common theme for is just the mindset. Mm-hmm. You have now crossed that threshold of I need a candy bar, or I need a soda, or I need something sweet. Whereas, wow, this is natural food. Mm-hmm. I can get as much pleasure more pleasure, from this, strawberry. Yeah. Than a candy bar or Coke.
And your body knows what to do with it. Your body takes the strawberry and goes, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, I can take all the nutrients. I can take all and process it and use the sugar strictly just for energy and not store it. Right? Not store it as something bad that's going to turn into something later. It takes the fiber and uses the fiber. It takes, like I said, I'm not a doctor.
Lots of fiber.
I don't know all this stuff.
Lots of fiber in strawberry, though.
Yeah, but it's got your body knows how to process that food. It doesn't always know how to process candy bars and Coke and things like that. So those are some good things to stay away from, and like you brought up, maybe like TV dinner type stuff, a lot of sodium. Even if they always promote like on the front where it's they say the front is all marketing, the back is really what's going on.
Right.
So the front is always
free.
Yeah.
Usually means there's just a different kind of sugar or a substitute in there. So
it'll be fake sugar, it'll be sucralose or aspartame or something like that.
For sure.
Or like you said, to preserve. They have to put a lot of sodium in those foods to preserve them for long periods of time, because it's all processed food that's all cooked, ready to go. All you have to do is heat it up. Right. Well, in order to preserve it,
sodium.
They have to use that sodium in there. In fact, do you know that's why it's called salary when you get paid? Because back in, I think it was like Egyptian times, salt was valuable because it preserved meat and it meant that you could keep your food longer. Well, so that's what they used as currency was salt.
Oh, so that's how
salary
was made from that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. No,
but stay away from sodium.
Yeah.
Still, get more money. Stay away from the sodium.
I was in the car the other day thinking to myself about this particular thing, about how sodium was used for that preservative.
Yeah.
What is there's the sodium consists of? There's something in the soda that helps preserve. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too.
I think it's so. Salt is sodium chloride.
Sodium chloride,
which is table salt. Yeah. But the sodium is what I think does the preserving. I don't know how it does it because I've done zero research. I'm not a scientist, but I do know that that's what preserves. Yeah. And then the sodium chloride is table salt. But that's why the pink Himalayan sea salts and things are much better for you.
Yeah. I just just a side note. We were talking about sodium and making it sound like the devil. Actually, enough of it, or just some of it, is good.
Some
of it is
some
good.
of the right.
Yeah, some of the right stuff. Yeah, your body needs it to help. To help at least keep a little bit of water.
Yeah,
that water is great for repaired muscles, and you need a little bit of it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean that's the case kind of with a lot of things. Even cholesterol, your body needs cholesterol.
Absolutely.
It needs it for cell regeneration.
Yeah,
and carrying the nutrients to all the muscles and the organs.
Yeah.
So there are good things, but it's managing how much you're intaking, managing the kinds that you're intaking,
the times that you do it.
The times that you do is a big thing. Yep. And so, like we were saying, having some good staples, throw out the Morton's table salt. Sorry, Morton's, you're not a sponsor. So throw out the Morton's table salt and get that pink Himalayan sea salt in there. And I think it tastes better anyway. And they have it, comes in the grinder.
Yeah.
And if I want to season up my meat a little bit, I even throw a little bit.
Punchy either. It still has that. It's still it brings out flavor.
Right.
But it's just not as punchy.
Yeah, exactly. So getting some good spices in your spice drawer.
Yep.
Getting if you're going to do a